free school adventures, and Pigstar HH News. Disclaimer. For awareness and educational purposes only. Professor collapses and dies in front of virtual class amid COVID-19 symptoms. A college professor in Argentina who had been suffering from persistent coronavirus symptoms collapsed and died at her home during a lecture in front of her virtual class, according to reports. Paola de Simone, 46, who taught 20th century world history at Universidad Argentina de la Empresa in Buenos Aires, complained she was having trouble breathing during the Zoom session last week, The Sun reported, citing diary mess. Her alarmed students asked her to give them her home address so they could summon help, but she gasped, "I can't," before collapsing, according to the news outlet. De Simone's husband, a doctor, discovered her lifeless body when he came home. The professor, who also is survived by a daughter, had mentioned her health struggle and her husband's work amid the pandemic on Twitter. "It is very complicated. I have been here with the virus for more than 4 weeks, and the symptoms do not go away," De Simone wrote, according to The Sun. "My husband is exhausted from working so much at the moment." One of her students, Ana Brecha, 23, described the professor's last moments. She began by saying that she had pneumonia. "We saw it was worse than in previous classes," she said. At one point she could not continue passing slides, nor speak, and she became unbalanced. Another student called De Simone an unforgettable teacher, one of those who give you a hand in everything, who make you love what you study, who go out of their way for their students. "We are going to miss you a lot," The Sun reported. Silvina Storer-Pencil, an Argentine journalist in New York, said she was not surprised her friend and former classmate at Universidad del Salvador had still been teaching. "I totally portray Paola deciding, I can totally do this, my students need me," she told the Washington Post, adding that the professor's death is a sad reminder that the virus is real. Storer-Pencil, who met De Simone in 1992, described her friend as a brainy, brilliant person who displayed the traits of a successful educator even back then. "You could tell already, she had a bright future ahead in teaching or in any endeavor she set her mind to," she told the Washington Post. "She was already displaying this critical thinking you find more in a professor than in a student." Michelle Denise Ballo, who said she took De Simone's economics class at the Universidad de Buenos Aires in 2017, told the paper that the energetic professor always got her full attention. "Her classes were at 7 a.m. It was very difficult sometimes, we were sleepy, but it was crazy because everybody listened to her," the 21-year-old told the Washington Post. "By the end of the class, nobody wanted to leave, everybody wanted to keep talking about what she was explaining." Ballo said that when a friend informed her about De Simone's death, she spent several hours messaging friends and former classmates to share their recollections about the beloved professor. "It was like we kind of needed that sharing of memories. It was very heartbreaking when we found out," she told the paper. She managed to show herself and talk about her life and her passions and her other jobs. "She was very personal but also super professional," Ballo added. There are T. Thank you very very much. Go to www.amer-.